Hello everyone, it's Teacher April again. Today I'm here to talk to you about using effective body language in the Magic Years classroom. Now, if you've done any research on communication recently, what you probably have found is that experts think that over 90% of our communication as humans is nonverbal. Now, of course, we communicate by talking to each other, but what they have found is that you can say a whole lot without saying a word. We communicate much of our meaning through our facial expressions, our tone, and our body language. So just as an example of that, I can look at you and say, "Wow, nice shirt." And that obviously is conveying that I really like your shirt. I can also look at you and say, "Wow, nice shirt." So same words, but different meaning, right? Just a polar opposite of meaning. There was a different tone, there was a different facial expression, different body language. And so again, what we found is that all of that makes a very big difference in what we're communicating to everybody and of course our students here at Magic Years. So I've got a few tips for you to use effective body language in your classroom so you're conveying exactly what you'd like to convey. So tip number 1 is posture. So having good posture in class really conveys that you are happy to be there, that you're in it to win it, that you are awake, right? For me, my best posture comes from standing, so I have a standing desk. I tend to stand up straighter than I sit up. I tend to slouch a little bit sometimes when I sit, and I always want to look alert and ready for my students. So for me, that meant converting to a standing desk. Now, if you are sitting down and you can still have great posture, perfect. That works for you. But we definitely don't want to look like we're kind of slouched over or a little too relaxed and leaning back, because that just kind of communicates a not very energetic atmosphere or a not very energetic tone. So if you can have great body posture, that really invites the students in and lets them know that you are awake and just ready to teach them. Tip number 2 is eye contact. Now, when I talk to somebody in real life, I make eye contact by looking into their eyes. That's obvious. It's a little different in the Magic Years classroom, right? If I look right at a student's eyes, to them it actually looks like I'm looking kind of off to the side where they are. So to look right in a student's eyes, you really have to look right at your camera, which can take some practice and kind of comes with experience. But what I've learned is this is a great way to connect with your students. I especially do this when I'm in Let's Practice mode. When I've got them there one-on-one, I want to look right in their eyes. There's that old saying, the eyes are the window to the soul, right? So I want to make sure that my eyes are nice and bright and open, and that I'm looking right into my camera to convey that I'm very interested in hearing what they have to say, that I'm paying attention to just them right now, and that they're very important to me as a student. So anytime I have them one-on-one, let's practice, the introduction, especially the conclusion when I'm telling them they did a great job and to have a great day and thank you for coming to class, I want to look right in my camera. Now, I'm always going to keep one eye open for the behavior of my other students. That's a teaching skill, right? Having eyes in the back of your head or maybe at the side of your head. But as much as I can, I really like to look right in the camera to make that eye contact. So number 3 is facial expressions. Now, obviously at Magic Years, the best facial expression is a smile, right? We want you to keep that big, beautiful smile the entire time you're teaching if possible. Sometimes we tend to lose our smile when things aren't exactly going perfectly, right? We all know we can have tech issues. There can be things going on in the background of our students that maybe aren't appropriate or a little distracting. You can have something weird happen on the screen that wasn't supposed to happen, right? Lots of things can happen. But if you keep that smile, that just really shows your students that you are there, you are happy to see them, you're happy to be there, and it just conveys positive energy, which is something we're really looking for. So even if all the crazy happens in your class, please try your best to keep a smile. And not the smile that you smiled in your school pictures because you didn't want to get them taken. The one your parents wanted you to smile, right? With the teeth. Not the crazy teeth, the happy teeth. So we would love to see great big smiles in class. Even when you're transitioning from slide to slide. Even when all your students are muted because there's lots of noise. You can keep that smile. That's fantastic. The other part of facial expressions is, of course, using your face, right? That sounds silly. Using your face to kind of invite the students in, right? So for me, especially again, when I have them one-on-one, it's just having a look on my face of acceptance, excitement, and just being very accommodating to whatever the students need. I like to look just very interested, kind of have this like almost Disney princess look of I'm interested in what they have to say, right? So a lot of times I'll kind of lean forward and give them a little nod and just look very happy to hear what they have to say. So I try to show a very accepting look to students, no matter kind of what's happening. All right, so another one is voice variance. So this obviously is not necessarily with our TPR, but with our way of speaking. So the more you can vary your voice in class, a lot of times the more interesting it's going to be, right? So if we're repeating a word, it's great if you can repeat it in different tones. It's really great if you can use your voice to accommodate your students. For example, if you have a very shy, scared student, I wouldn't go into class, hello everyone, right? I might use my voice to calm them and use my facial expressions to invite them in. Hello. How are you, right? I might go a little softer then. So if you can vary your voice throughout your lesson, it can be very accommodating to your students and also add a lot of energy to your lesson. So last but not least is positive energy. So I just, as a teacher, want to exude positive energy the entire class by using all of those things that we talked about, right? I'm going to use my big smile. I'm going to use my TPR to invite the students in. I'm going to show them through my facial expressions and my TPR and my body language that I am very happy to be there and I want to hear them speak. Instead of cupping my ear like this to hear them speak, I might lean way in and I might kind of rock back and forth as they're repeating something. So if they're saying, I like apples, as they're doing it, I might be doing this. I like apples. And then give them a big smile and a thumbs up. This shows that I'm reacting to them as a student. And of course, my smile shows that I'm very accepting of them and I'm very happy to be there. So if you can use all this body language to show your students that you are there for them today, you're happy to be there, I think it's fantastic. My kind of goal every class that I have is to look like I have been waiting all day to teach that class. Even if I'm tired, even if something bad happened before that class, even if I had a class before that class that just was nuts, I try to kind of reconnect myself to my teaching, kind of calm myself down, take a deep breath, and just remember that these students may not see me again. So I really want to make a great impression and show them that at least it looks like I've been waiting all day just to see them. And I do that through, again, my facial expressions and my body language. I hope this was helpful. Everybody has a different teaching style, but I think there's a lot of great body language and facial expressions you can use to really invite our students into your online classroom. So I hope that was helpful. Happy teaching, everyone.